Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm gonna change my music to something a little more upbeat.
It's crazy to me that you
This
listen to
is
music
just
while we do this.
right now. It's like tones.
Well, I have to
I don't know
share
why.
an experience that I had. Excuse me. So prior to getting on here with you, um, I was in a scenario that all of us do on a daily basis, and that is sit on a toilet. And when you're sitting on the toilet, you're playing on your phone, you're reading a book, maybe the back of a shampoo bottle, who knows? But there's one thing that we're all at the same time vulnerable. And it was at that moment that I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and a decent sized wolf spider started scampering across the tile. Like Hogna
For
species,
you,
like,
coming for you,
yeah,
gunning for you.
Hogna species southeastern wolf spider. And my first inclination was, oh God, I'm defenseless. Like, what am I going to do? And I mean, this thing is probably the size of a quarter, right? And I don't get bugs in my house because I have the dog. He's always catching a fly or whatever. And we have a ton of invasive lizards in the front and back of the house. So like, I never see bugs in my house, knock on wood, you know?
What's going on, everybody?
Oh God, we're live. I forgot about that. So, a side note, if so facto, whatever transitional word I'm about to use, I was defenseless, and here it is. This small little invertebrate that I know is completely harmless and not going to do anything to me has me on edge because I am sitting on the throne defenseless. Long story short, it hid behind a squeaky dog toy that was left in there by my dog, and I proceeded to scoop it up in toilet paper after I was done doing what I was doing, and I threw him out the front yard. So hopefully he dies a merciless death at the hands of an anole or curly tail.
When we were staying in Alpine, I got in the shower and I look up after like probably 5 minutes of being in there, and like really nice, super gravid Vitatus scorpion.
Yeah,
scorpion was chilling right there at the top, and I was like, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't even.
And that's what's crazy is that like the Vitatus is so much more dangerous than a Hogna. But it had, little booger had me on edge, man. I
was more paranoid about, because with centroroides especially, it's never just one.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So I was like, am I gonna roll over tonight in this, like at the Airbnb in this cot and like get nailed by one or something? Like that was more my paranoia than anything. I mean, not that anything would have really happened, because I don't think Vitatus are considered anything medically significant. But it still would have sucked. Like it wouldn't have been any fun.
100% it would have sucked.
But dude, I was looking at that thing like, she's got a brood she's about to drop. I could totally take that home.
Well, what's crazy is when I went to scoop the thing up with the toilet paper, I was like, all right, don't just smush it, for two reasons. One, I didn't want to smush them, but what if it is a postpartum mom, and when I go to pick it up or I press too hard and like 200 babies start scampering? You know what I'm saying? Because Hogna like keep them on their back, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like, why am I dealing with this stupid spider? Why is the spider giving me anxiety? But this is episode 144 of Snakes and Stogies. I'm Phil Wolf, and is joined as always the sultry, hairy Mr. Justin Smith.
All right, I'm looking up the blend on this cigar that I'm smoking.
Well, tonight's episode is brought to you by the letter Q, as well as the fine people of the Pacific Northwest, the Gendra, the Puget Sound Pythons. And as all, what? I don't know. I was just trying to be Sesame Street.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, yeah. And the number 4, just in case people were curious. And as well as BlackBoxCages.com.
Ooh.
2-foot sliders, PVC sliders. Oh, how I love them. Jen sent me pictures. Scrumtrelescent.
Yeah, man. I'm slowly working on the Switch, getting everything to be BlackBox stuff. Already got my I'm gonna get another hatchling rack in the next couple weeks. Just to handle sort of all the, instead of all the tubs I got stacked to the ceiling, swap it out with another XR20.
Nice.
And then get the V15s and V35s, or V18s and V35s, whatever the middle size is that holds 2, and then the 35s are what I use now for like yearlings and similar size stuff. So yeah, Gron got his swag.
Nice. I was just telling Billy Hunt and Casey that probably within the next year I'm going to basically strip down the way that I have all my colubrids, and because like it's all kind of patchy, like there's corns over here and milks over here, and it's all crazy. But I want to basically do like a temperate North American colubrid rack, and maybe do some Asian stuff in there, some colder stuff in there, and just do that like living room style, you know. But I'm definitely going to do the 35s from BlackBox because it's perfect. Friggin' Goldilocks. So while Justin puts his audio together, I will share my smoke for the night. I've had these on here before. I'm a fan of Arturo Fuente, especially the Grand Reserve. Reserva. I don't get them too often though, because I feel like it is a fairly popular smoke. You can find it in most places, so I don't want to like smoke it too much. But I got a little stubby one. I can't remember the actual size, but
is it a Hemingway?
It's like a Hemingway short
story.
Yeah, short story. Yeah. But I love how they put the cedar on the outside. You know, it's adorable. So I'm excited about that one.
Those are very popular.
Very popular.
Yeah, and Harry likes the Fuente. So we got in the Southern Draw Manzanita.
Oh, nice.
Recently, and I was looking up the blend just a minute ago. It's a Habano wrapper. What else? Doesn't really say much other than that. So fillers Nicaraguan, binders of Habano. So given that, it's pretty it's pretty punchy. It's got a lot going on. Habanos are usually sort of just very forward flavor wise, very peppery, a little spicy. So
did you show the band? I was looking off camera for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, nice.
Can't see it because of the
red on red. But, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is the most recent release, or one of the most recent releases from Southern Draw. But they do good stuff. I liked a lot of it. You want something that'll like knock you on your ass, you get that Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, bro.
Boy, that's a
yeah.
You better eat before you smoke that bad boy. What's new down yonder?
Not too much, man. I had one of those freak occurrences where like everything sheds at once, which I kind of like because it kind of lets you know that like the room is, I don't want to say on the same like pattern or cycle or whatever, but it's always a good feeling knowing that everything is like doing its thing, you know, just chilling. Tomorrow morning, yeah, I'm going to feed the Fuscus for the last time before I cool them. So that's exciting. Mm-hmm. And I still haven't figured out if I'm just going to put the boy in the girls' tub or if I'm going to do neutral ground and like give them something bigger. I don't quite know yet. I haven't really decided, but I got like a solid month or two to figure it out. So that's going on. Anyone who's curious, the wee little Blumpkin is doing well, still eating. That's about it, man. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. So what about you?
Got stuff in cooling. I still have I haven't moved everything in the garage yet, but I still have to move the female suboc. She was in shed, and I felt kind of weird about moving her into sort of the preliminary cooling before she had shed out. So I was kind of waiting on her to do that, and then she's the last one to go into cooling. So, it was like 70 on Thanksgiving. It was warm-ish, so it's cooling off again now. And I got another Govee because I have that in the new one. It's one of the slightly bigger models than like the standard little bricks that I usually have. So that one's in the snake room right now on top of one of the smaller, like the smallest chondro of the bunch still, because I'm trying to make sure that where it's at, it's, getting warm enough up top there.
Sure.
But that is going to move out to the garage with everything else too, so I can sort of monitor that and keep an eye on it and get everybody down and
prepped.
Had to place a mouse order like the week before last for the first time in I don't know how long. So shout out to Big Cheese. That's who I used like many moons ago, and I was always happy with them. Prices were always decent, quality. The rodent was good. And same thing, I ordered mostly pinkies and fuzzies, just to take pressure off the colony that we have right now. Just they would pop out litters, and because I have so much smaller stuff, I would need to feed them off, and I finally broke down and said I just need to make an order, and hopefully sort of get the colony back on track, because I really planned poorly there because I didn't raise up any litters, and so now I have a bunch of breeders that are getting older and they're not producing as much. And so
I was going to ask you, do you guys take breaks with them like we do with snakes?
What do you mean?
Like, give her take a breeder mom and just like give her a year off, or is the lifespan not long enough to really?
No, their lifespan isn't long enough to really warrant that. Yeah, Mike Cameron said he's had good luck with Big Cheese. That's just who I used. I did some price comparison and sort of shopped around a little bit. And honestly, Big Cheese seems to be the most reasonable. Like, it's not the cheapest option. It's not the most expensive. Shipping was like flat $29. So that's solid. I ended up dropping like $200 with them, but
good.
I'm happy with it. I got a couple hundred pinkies and fuzzies, and I got a couple hoppers for some of the bigger stuff. The hoppers were a little on the smaller side than kind of what I was expecting them to be. For the yearling size corns and the stuff that's a little bigger than that, it's perfect. For some of the chondros, I was like, this is just a little morsel. The pines, forget about it. Pines looked at that like, what the hell, dude? I want a real meal. So
yeah, no more of this popcorn chicken crab.
Yeah. But I mean, this time of year, everyone else, like, while they're not in cooling, they definitely don't get fed as much. So, everyone's getting cooled down to a degree. So
good. Awesome. That's what we like to see. 'Tis the season. So has your wife busted out all the Christmas decor?
Not yet. We're probably going to this weekend though.
Cool. Good. Yeah. Anna Maria and her mom got the tree up, and I'm probably going to help my mom with hers maybe this weekend. Gotta see. And it's in full effect down here.
We were going to start putting some up this weekend, but it was raining off and on and just fairly gross. So it's like, let's just do it next weekend, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And Robert, thank you very much.
Yeah, no kidding, Mike. So get your feeders going soon. That's not a fun bill to pay every few months. Yeah, I watched, Jake and everyone else have to do it periodically, and it's like, damn.
Yeah. Especially like people that have been buying the same amount for the same, like, how do I phrase this? So you get an individual person who buys like a pack of pups, a pack of hoppers, a pack of ex-breeders, and a pack of small rats, right? And it's the same order every so many months. And you just watch it go from like little bit, wham, 2022, spike it, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yep, like I said, I don't mind doing it periodically to sort of take some pressure off the colony, but ideally, I'm trying to get them to pop out enough and consistently to not have to do that.
I get it, man. I get it. And like I feel a lot alive. Just because honestly, like I'm spoiled. I'm so close to Underground's retail store that I get live for a lot of the stuff, a lot of the smaller stuff, a lot of the venomous, and it's just easy. I just throw it in and walk away, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to slowly start converting because live is just that much more nowadays, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Other than that, though, I mean, there's nothing new going on.
Good. No news is good news.
I mean, so I went to the doctor this morning for the first time in a long time.
Really nice. Good for you.
Guess who's diabetic?
Really? What kind? Like,
I'm waiting. The lab results will be around hopefully tomorrow. We'll have a better idea of how rough it is, but it's not great.
Yeah.
So take care of your health, people.
Yeah. I'm guilty of procrastinating that a lot. So
I just laughed and looked at the doctor, and I was like, "This is why I don't come and see you people. Like,
exactly.
You never have anything good to tell me."
Look, we can get bad news every time we go into the doctor, or we can die at a ripe old age of 35. You know, decisions. So
yeah, and it wasn't much of a surprise, honestly. It was like, I'd kind of dealt with some of it a couple of years ago, back in like 2018, and so wasn't a massive shock. I was like, okay, so back to getting more active and stop eating like a moron. So
yeah, well, I'm glad you got the knowledge and can address it and nip it in the bud, so to speak.
Yep.
So it's good.
But my blood pressure was perfect.
Oh, nice.
Which was surprising. I was not expecting that at all. She's like, yeah, it's like dead on. I was like, okay, cool. That was not at least something worked out, But,
well, I know that mine's elevated and I need to go address that. So sooner than later, right?
Chili's will go out of business. Kasiki said, look, I'm not like, just like with Kasiki and his wings, I'm gonna have a cheat day every once in a while.
It's good. That's good.
No.
Christian Parr, I think I would die with that ice cream every night.
I mean, hey, I got commended for, like, I told her, she asked how much caffeine I drank, and I laughed. I said, a lot. And then she said, what do you drink? And I was like, energy drinks. She's like, what is it? I'm like, I get the sugar-free, the white monsters. She's like, oh, that's good. No sugar. That's better. I'm like, thank you.
Good. Excellent.
She tried to tell me cigars were bad for me. And that's when I was like, all right, look, lady, now you just crossed the damn line.
Yeah, right. Well, I was telling to Maria, it was crazy that when we went up to the Asheville area, I saw, like, outside of restaurants, outside of bars, they would have like the little ashtray stick tree thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And they all had like smoking section that way, which is the comes with the times, I miss the days of having a Denver omelet at Denny's, smoking my cigarette indoors. Those were the good days. But I digress. I noticed that there was like cigarettes in the ashtrays at like restaurants and stuff, but I was the only one out smoking. No one was smoking. And I know that like those mountain towns are very seasonal and they're very tourist based, but it almost felt to me like it was like smoking had almost become like I don't want to say a poor person thing, because like where we were was very bougie, very ritzy, and no one was smoking. And I was like, this is really weird. Is everyone all of a sudden healthy? Like, this is mind boggling to me. So just an observation.
Yeah, I mean, in the general Asheville area, though, I think it's in like a lot of those sort of hipper, younger cities and stuff.
Yeah.
Smoking isn't cool anymore, bro.
Yeah, you smoke weed in church, but God forbid you have a cigarette with your meal. Oof.
Got a freaking vape pen the size of a football.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh God.
So
Meanwhile, I notice I'm like clearing my throat this whole show, and like everyone's probably thinking I'm dying from smoking so much, and it's like, no, I'm drinking sweet tea, and I have a
no,
freaking dendrobates stuck in my throat.
yeah, she so she basically was like, not smoking is better than smoking at all, but cigarettes are probably the worst. And I was like, that's good because I've never touched one, never wanted to, never will, and just was like, I'm not smoking as much as I was, which is true. I was smoking way more when I was working at the shop.
Yeah, that's true.
So it has cut back a good bit, but
I mean, dude, you were smoking like 4 or 5 cigars a day.
It
right?
depended on the day.
Oh, okay.
And I've been smoking cigars for a handful of years now too, so like probably close to 10, I think. But in the chat, shout out to Utah EDC. Said first time finally been able to join the live. Love the show, guys. Nice. Inspired my love for Pantherophis.
Awesome.
That's why we're here.
That's what we like to hear. And Dominique has graced us with her presence.
She has.
Yes, and I will go to Kentucky and I will smoke indoors. Thank you very much.
A rare sight.
Yes. Truly a sight to behold.
Are we ready for some quizzes?
Yes, some games of chance.
Okay. Same thing. I got 3 different species. I don't know if you have things still that you have up for grabs for prizes.
I still have stickers if people want stickers.
Okay. So yeah. I've got shirts. I think I have a couple beanies left. So if whoever wins, you you get your pick. So let's bring this up here. I think this is the all right. So
that's a good one, man.
If you're new, if you're new here, basically it's a guess the species. Barred eye, other superior Pantherophis. Thank you, Mike. Just so everyone knows. Guess the species, and then if you guess right, after we usually do like a minute or so. Wrong, Keller. Then you get a
a prize,
a shirt or a hat or stickers, whatever.
Yeah, so, whatever you prefer. So I did get a little bit of pleasure in you just shooting down Jason so quickly.
See, the problem is like I know Keller's here when I make these, so I'm like I have to be very specific in what I'm picking.
Yes,
because I know that ass is gonna friggin' call it every time, and he's gonna get
good,
kicked
man.
from playing the game because he already knows these things.
He's good though. The problem is because we're friends. Like
he doesn't need 10 shirts.
Well, no, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say is that because we're friends, we think very much alike and we like the same species. So aside from him knowing a lot of snakes, you know what I mean?
Yep. So, Harry, there it is.
Bing, bing,
bing, bong,
bing, bong.
All right. Harry got it. Good job. We'll show the full picture in a moment. Number 2.
Ooh.
I thought this one was a little tricky. Of course, I thought the fox snake one was tricky too, and people figured that out in like half a second. So,
well, what's funny is that this one is number 2. It could very well be number 3 as well.
You are right there. So
yeah, it's very similar to number 3. So,
I mean, not terribly similar, I don't think, just because they happen to be in the same like half of the world.
No, I was more referring to coloration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this one's saddles are completely different, but at glance, are we going to give continent or no?
We will after like 30 or 60 seconds or so.
Sounds good.
It's not Burris. It is not McGregor. And I can't even do cool stuff like McGregor because I know Keller's going to know what it is.
Yeah, I know.
So. Rough gray snake.
That's true. It is a rough.
It's not
gray
keeled,
snake.
is it?
No.
She told me that my right eye earlier, I had 20/20 vision, and then my left eye was like 24 something, and I'm like, there's no way that's right because I can barely freaking see what's going on 6 feet away. Not an anaricorn, not an Asclepian rat, not a Protobothrops cornuta. Keller's just throwing cornutas out and see which one sticks.
That's true. I'll tell you, the picture is deceiving because, like, it's not keeled, but the picture kind of gives it that look, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hint, people. Not keeled.
See, and this one, though, I even tried to, I was like, let me not make it super hard.
Yeah.
Let me make it something that we're all familiar with, which this is one that we are all familiar with.
We are. If you don't own it, you know someone who does. Especially in like our group of eclectic friends.
It is old world.
Yes.
It is not new world.
Yes. Yes.
It's not keeled, it's braille. Oh, man. Keller was the first one to get it. It is a Clemicophora.
Yep. I was waiting for the group chat to catch up. Keller got it, baby. He got it.
He might just get a king snake.
Send him his same king
snake. Joke's on you.
You better be home between the hours of 11 and 1.
Fill the box up with glitter so when he opens it, like put one of those glitter bombs in there with it.
Oh my God, a glitter bomb cow king. Ugh.
2 horrible things. Okay. Number 3.
Ooh. Ah.
I feel like I'm looking at one of those pictures where you have to cross your eyes to see the image and move your face close to the screen and back.
Yeah, right. What's funny is like
I didn't know. You dumb bastard.
The schooner is a sailboat. I had no idea that Smitty was picking this picture. I knew the species, but I didn't know he was picking this picture. And this could be so many freaking snakes now. Horrible, Smitty. Horrible.
You think that wasn't done on purpose?
Of course.
It's not Drymarchon. This too is old world. See, and this is how I know I did a good job.
You did a good job, bro. You did a good job.
When it makes people zig when they should have zagged.
Yep.
There's not a Taiwan beauty. There's not a king rat.
By the way, Vic, since you're here, your Hondurans are savages. Savages.
It is not a Nivea. That's a good guess, though. That was like the very first one of these we did was a cape.
Yeah.
I've also been trying to keep it to snakes. I've been tempted to do some other stuff, but I just figured,
yeah,
since it's snakes and stogies, it's not Gonyosoma. I'm also trying not to repeat species that we've already done too. I don't feel like we're there yet, so.
Yeah, I mean,
it is not one we've done before.
Yeah.
None of these are.
Actually, and it's hard because you can't you can repeat genera, but it's gonna be a very different looking genera.
Yeah.
And yes, Gron, we will throw some lizards from time to time.
Dang. He's got him good. It's not an inland taipan. That's a good guess too.
Yeah, if the braiding on this on the other parts, the black braiding wasn't there, it could totally pass for summer colors, you know.
Right.
We given the genera as a Jeez Louise.
Well, now nobody wins because Keller got it and Keller already got a shirt. Damn it,
dude! He hacked your phone. He's got to have hacked your phone.
He's figured something out.
Yeah,
he's doing the Google Lens thing where he does the reverse image search, and that's how he's figuring it out.
No, you know what he's got is he's got that TFH Atlas of Snakes of the World book in his lap, and he's just flipping through species.
It was Palmettocoastexotics mucosa. So the first one was Bitis caudalis. Very cool little dwarf Bitis. I almost did Cornuta, but I was like, nah. I was like, Keller. I knew Keller would pin that one down quick, so I changed it. Did caudalis, which I think are cooler anyways. Next is a Japanese rat, a very gray one, not really a whole lot of the greenish, weird mossy color.
Yeah, but I'm glad you zoomed in, man, because like if you had zoomed out just a little bit, that pattern would have been dead giveaway. Yeah,
that's why I didn't want to get the tail either, because it's even more obvious on the tail there.
Yeah.
So, and then Palmettocoastexotics mucosa.
Nice.
So
it's a great looking animal.
Harry said, "I only knew it was caudalis because I was staring at Glob King's photo one earlier."
That's good. And Randy, we'll get some other we'll get some boas and pythons in there, brother.
See, the problem is I can't really do like chondros and stuff because it's
no, I mean,
it's too obvious.
You got to be creative with it. Got to be creative. It's what we do. It's what we do.
So don't feel bad. That was I didn't choose a sort of the, like I said, the normal looking Japanese rat that you see. I had to go with something a little more. No, okay. Keller said I meant caudalis, but I got the names mixed up. Right. You should have all three. It's going to be a game now at this point. Guess before Keller does.
Yeah, right.
Like an ass.
What's that guy, Ken Jennings from Jeopardy? Jason's going to be our Ken.
So we will be in touch. Harry, we'll hit you up. Keller, go to hell. What else? We have the end of the year approaching. I think the last THN episode minus Lizard Brain Radio. It's going to be the 12th. We all got together last night and had a meeting picking out our people of the year for the various shows. They have been chosen. The People's Choice thing, which we did, that's kind of getting scrapped and reevaluate how to do that next year because, frankly, we didn't get a ton of votes and there wasn't enough sort of with on one person in particular to warrant sort of doing it. So I have to figure out a way to get that out there more next year and make that happen. So, but we have our picks, which we will all be getting together on what looks like the 12th.
Yep.
And we'll be telling everyone our picks for that for each show. So
THN live.
Yep. So THB is going to have a person. Snakes and Stogies is going to have a person. Cornstars has a person. What show am I forgetting? Bill, like Lizard Brain's going to have a person. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Is that all of them?
Yeah. That's all.
And then a THN, like a network person, where all of us unanimously agreed on one person to be sort of the person.
Yes.
So, and then we're trying to figure out exactly how we're gonna, like, for the THN person, I guess, like this round and moving forward, like making a plaque or something cool. I don't know, like making it a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
A memento of our appreciation and admiration.
That's right. Get Chris to do one of his world famous phallic drawings.
Yeah.
Jason Rainman Keller.
That's good.
That is good.
For those of you who aren't reading that, it says Codalis. Yeah, definitely Codalis. So next week on Snakes and Stogies, we're gonna do a what we call herper slang, and basically there's a lot of lingo that we in our little community use, and people that are up and coming into it or just getting started, or people have been doing it forever and they just never Googled what it meant. We're going to try and put together a comprehensive list of normal words that we in our community use on a regular basis that other people may not know, right? We spoke about, herping the cut in West Texas and like what is a cut and things like that. So if any of you guys want clarification or think that there might be a word or a phrase or something that we may have missed or you'd like to share with us and we could talk about that, feel free to DM Justin or myself or any of the THP guys, and we'll try and get this list together, and next week we'll dive into it, and we're going to try and cover all aspects of herpetoculture, whether it be in field herping or captive husbandry or equipment or medical terms, whatever it may be, and basically try and put this list together to help everybody out, ourselves included.
For each one, we should have to have an example of how you use it in a sentence.
That would actually be kind of funny.
It would be funny.
That would be pretty good.
That'd be good.
Dominique's got jokes tonight.
That's what happens. She disappears and then she comes out of the darkness swinging.
Yeah,
like a bat out of hell.
Haven't seen her for 6 months and then heckle. Love it. So yeah, so if you guys have anything you want to message us with, just to add it, even if you know what it means and you think that other people should, shoot us a message and we'll try and get that list together. So it'll be an exciting show. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. And like the basis of sort of the meeting the hosts had last night was basically, talking about our picks for people of the year for 2022, and then sort of new plans for 2023 in terms of changes. What do we want to do? What do we not want to do anymore? So I also leave that open to the people. If you have suggestions or things you'd like us to things you'd like to see, at least with the network and what we're doing, throw it at us. I mean, I'm not going to scoff at anything. It's just as much y'all show as it is ours. So
yeah, we couldn't do
ideas.
We couldn't do it without you guys.
One of the things that we did think of this actually came up during the last episode we did with Chris was starting to do like one-on-one series or 101 series. I'm sorry, not 101.
101. It was your idea, man. Come
on. Basically, like Chris was here. Chris isn't super hip to carpets, and so Chris was asking a bunch of questions about carpets that were pretty standard, like baseline stuff. So I had the idea of like maybe once a month or so, we get someone on to sort of start from the bottom and go up. If we're doing like a carpets 101, so I'm so used to doing the one-on-ones with Jake. Carpets 101. Jesus. Basically just talking about like, here's the different localities or types, subspecies, whatever you want to call them. Like a map, sort of like what Julander put together for the book, an explanation, the various morphs that are there, which subspecies they're sort of attributed to. And just like basically if someone's looking for information on carpet pythons and they don't know where to start, we want to essentially find the person that we would send those people to and have them on and basically spell it out. So it'd be something like if you're for carpets in particular, because that's the example I'm using, if you're looking for something more sort of, I guess, advanced or something information wise that's past sort of the base level that probably won't be the shows for you, but basically we want them to be there as a reference for people that are looking for that kind of thing. And I think we decided that I don't think it'll be audio format. I think it might just be YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I figure we'll
we
put
can
together
do both.
We'll put together the first episode 100% for YouTube, and then if the audio sounds good, we can always just add it. You know?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be any more labor intensive than anything else. So, yeah, I want to keep doing the 5 questions with series. I know I was on a roll with that for a while, and that slowed down mostly just because of the job change and stuff. Definitely want to get back to that. Not a new THN podcast. We are not adding. We did decide unanimously that we are not adding anything show wise to the lineup.
Yep.
I think we're all pretty content with where things are at now.
Yeah, just some side plates. You know.
Yeah, just basically trying to either better or maybe expand what we're already doing. And this is something I like every year, especially this time of the year, is when I start kind of thinking like where can we improve? Where can things get better? What should we do? What should we stop doing? And full disclosure, I think ChondroCast might be pretty much on the chopping block to be done. So,
all right. I mean, that's how you feel. I know there's a lot of people, myself included, that think that you should still keep it around and just do it on a blue moon. You know.
I mean, it pretty much doesn't exist now. So,
but I mean, it could. You know, do it once a year, do it twice a year, whatever. Play around with it.
I don't know. I just honestly, the desire to even do that show hasn't really been there. I think it's for sort of a multitude of reasons, but for the most part, I'm just kind of like, I don't. It's what I've talked about previously. Of it feels very repetitive, like when you have a show that's specific to something like that.
Yeah.
And I think they'll never make Podfather with that attitude. Forgive me, Podfather, for I've sinned. Like Corn Stars is a little different because there's a much bigger scope of things to discuss there. Like Chondros, it's much narrower, bottlenecks a lot more. And so it kind of feels like it's like every episode, like it's the same questions, same information. And I just don't feel that it really brings much to the table. Minus talking to some of like the older guys that have been doing it a really long time, and you know, I don't know. I haven't really made a final decision on that yet, but
yeah, no need to put a nail in a coffin yet.
I have the nail lined up. I'm about to swing the hammer.
Well, how about this? How would you feel about making the first 101 about getting your first chondro? You know, how to shop, how to prepare, how to set it up.
Someone mentioned that as being a ChondroCast episode of like
intro
to chondros.
Yeah.
So
yeah. How to be Dominique at age 21.
There you go. Yeah, and I could expand to do arboreal boas and other stuff, guns and gonyosoma. Hey, I'm doing that. I did ask the colubrid and colubroid radio guys the other day. I was like, what does a guy got to do to get a gonyosoma episode, man? And they were like, who are we going to get? I was like, I don't know. I just want a gonyosoma episode. It's got to happen.
I don't know if I got cut or Smitty got cut. If someone could hear me, please.
I can hear you. Can you see me? Uh-oh. Can you guys still see me? Am I still here? Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. Yeah, and that's what those videos were for. They serve their purpose. Oh, okay. All right. Well, hi. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Phil should be back momentarily. I would love a Ganya Soma episode if Dr. Loafman and Matt Most are listening. I'd even sit in for that one. Like, I don't even want to talk. I just want to be there and listen. You there? You live?
Yeah, I'm here. I couldn't tell.
Did your internet have a moment?
Yeah, well, I think it's StreamYard acting up again. My internet's perfectly fine. I couldn't tell if you were cut or I was cut, and I was like, if anyone can hear me, press 1. And then it went black, and I got booted. So,
Scuba Steve, damn you!
What'd I miss?
Nothing. I was trying to get a Ganya Soma episode out of the CCR guys.
Yeah.
So, do a little dance. Dance, monkey. He keeps pestering about a Spilotes episode.
I'm waiting for that Mollendorfi episode. Love to be a fly on the wall for that one.
First thing about Ganya Soma episode is where to get good Ganya Soma. That is a tough one, man. Thanksgiving was good. Ate tons of pumpkin pie and played with corn snakes all week. Hell yeah.
Subox and Senecolis. That's a good one.
See, and they have, like, Dusty Rhodes is a prime person for that.
He truly is.
Centicolas too. All that stuff. A chondro, white lip python, and scrub in their kin podcast. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of it's just, like I said, trying not to be too repetitive and sort of keep things fresh and interesting and try to come at things that maybe have already been covered at a different angle to sort of bring something different to the table. So,
yeah.
That is something that I take super seriously with all the podcasts, is like making sure there's substance. And I mean, they're not all going to be zingers, they're not all going to be great. We've had a couple episodes over the years where I was just like, I wish I could redo that. But most of the time we finish a show, I go to bed feeling pretty good about it. So, like, yeah. I really do strive to bring, like, I want you to leave the podcast with something, whether it's something like a major nugget of wisdom or something else, just something.
Yeah, geckos and gabagool.
Gabagool. Yeah. What was you have a favorite podcast?
Like that
outside of us? Yeah, like her podcast wise this year that you really got into?
I mean, I love Reptile Fight Club because it's guys and gals talking about topics relative to our community, but it forces individuals to go against their beliefs, which I think is interesting. So I listen to a lot of it, but honestly, man, Colubroid just slaying it. Just, sword fresh out of the fire, just slaying it.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered, I thought about that too. Should we have like a podcast sort of the year that we've all really gotten into outside of the network stuff? And
sure,
that would definitely be my pick, would be Colubrid and Colubroid Radio, and then Reptile Fight Club as well.
Yeah.
Matt and Zach do an incredible job with that show. I don't think I've missed a single episode.
Yeah, I've never missed a single episode.
There's just always such cool stuff, they're covering and talking about. And once again, it's like leaving that, leaving the episode feeling like I took something away from that. I learned.
Hell yeah. Every time.
Pingleton's show is good too. I will say that his flies under the radar a lot. So much Pingle. That's a really good one as well. And then Reptile Fight Club, like I said, because that format and what they're doing is just so different. You know? It's such a simple idea. It's genius. Like it's an idea I wish I had come up with because it's just so good.
Yeah. And Doc and Chuck bring such a great dynamic. They've been friends so long, and they keep similar animals. They also keep completely polar opposite animals, and the camaraderie is fantastic. You know, it just is. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I still have to listen to some of the Project Herp episodes. I listened to one of the recent ones, the one with Philippe.
That was a good one. Everyone listened to that episode.
Yeah.
And to be brutally honest, I love Daffy's Roundtable, man.
Yeah,
dude, Foddy's the man. He
did a vet one recently that I need to go and listen to that I'm really interested in.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, and you know what? I didn't get on it in the beginning, and I regret it because now I'm trying to play catch up, and I can only listen to podcasts while I'm going to and from work, and I get annoyed because I want to just sit and finish it and focus on it, but I can't because I have to be a grown up and shit. But Herpological Highlights, man. Herpological Highlights is a fantastic show. It gives me information that I'm yearning for in a fun way. And if it's a paper that I can't get on my own or I didn't even know existed, those two guys, man, they break it down and they know what they're talking about, but they can also be very relatable to the common folk, so to speak, air quotes. But I can't speak highly enough about Herpetological Highlights, man. Those guys are killing it. It.
Cox asked, did Boas ever take off? I don't think it didn't not take off. I just think they've got three hosts. Yeah. And if there's anything we've learned, it's getting everyone pinned down on the same night for an extended period of time is really tough.
It is very.
Pretty much everything we do, because Chris's schedule is way more hectic than anyone else's. Like Corn Stars, I tell Chris, I'm like, you tell me when you want to do an episode and I will make sure I am free. And that's how we do that. And, he's a hard man to pin down. It's just he's on call for work. So at any point, we've recorded episodes where he's like, dude, if there may be a point where I just have to get up and go. So he's like, just be prepared. If I do, I'm on call. So I may have to jet. So it's tough. It's definitely tough. It's harder than you would think it would be.
Let's not forget about the greatest podcast on air right now. Venom Exchange Radio.
Oh yeah. That one's
shameless
the weird
shameless plug
in between child, like the singular bridge between NPR and THN.
It's the liaison.
It's the mediator.
It is.
Snake Talk with Dr. Jenkins. There was a Eastern Diamondback episode he did not that long ago that I really enjoyed on that, where he talked to Bruce Means, which I love that species so much, man. I would love to have Bruce on just to talk about, I want to do an Eastern Diamondback episode, just such cool snakes. But yeah, you and Nipper, man, you guys are doing a really good job with that too. Like that's another show that I don't think I've missed an episode.
Thank you.
So, there you go. See, he liked it so much, he just said peace out. So it's not StreamYard, it's his stuff. So everyone knows. He's old. He don't know how computers work. Snake Talk. I need to look that one up. Brings me back to warm desert nights crammed in a car. Yep. Yeah, apparently you can't take a compliment because he just whatever. Releasing episodes of Venom Diaries on YouTube. No, I haven't. I'll have to check that out too. Pete Paul Wolf and his great value internet. Oh. Is there any people that you guys want to see us have on Pygmy rattlers, yeah, absolutely. I feel like we talk about them a lot, but we haven't done any sort of like dedicated episode about them. Like I usually each year too, I kind of have a hit list together of people that I definitely want to have on, and there's sort of like not really like ranked in any sort of super official fashion, but in my head, there's like the white whales. So there's like Dr. Boyer and some of the other super high up academics that I like. At some point, they're sort of on more of like a life list than anything else, not necessarily the annual list, but each year I'm like, okay, I want to hit at least like 3 of these people. And then, you know, there's other people that I think would be sort of easier to pin down to have an episode, because a lot of those sort of higher up folks that are especially in the medical field, like their schedules are even more crazy, so they're a little tougher to get pinned down. But Bill Hughes would be a good one. There's a lot that we could do with him. He's, you know, he did Boiga for a really long time. Madagascan tree boas, all that stuff. Yeah, Burke. Gonna have Burke on all the time. I've seen 2 so far. What would be nice, and I was wondering about this because I was thinking about Mark O'Shea the other day, is like if there was a way that we could, surely somewhere O'Shea's Big Adventure is sitting on a hard drive or in some DVD boxes somewhere. You need to find someone to hunt those down and figure out how we can get those released. I'd love to watch all those again. But I love talking to Burke. You know, we need to get Rob Stone on again at some point. I definitely want to have Matt Most on again. I feel like the 1 or 2 times we've had him on, we didn't cover nearly as much as we wanted to, and that's just because he's doing so much stuff. You know, he's got so many different species and whatnot. It's hard to possibly hit it all in one go. Gotta have Pete Call dropped off at your house for an evening. We'll send you money for liquor. Oh, that's a lot. He's back.
I don't get it, man. I just checked my router. My router is good. I just did a speed test. I got 22.5 megabytes upload. It's got to be StreamYard. It's got to be. And when I signed back in, it gave me this advertisement. It was like, sign up now for our free webinar. Fuck you, StreamYard. We love you.
So we were discussing people that they'd like to see us host at some point, be it in the next year or in the future. And then Cox dropped this nugget of wisdom that made me cackle.
Nice. Thanks, Cox. I actually...
So, do you have anybody
that you'd like to see be a host? That I would like to see be
no,
a
like
host?
to have on the shows.
Oh, geez. I have a laundry list.
So I was explaining too that I have like my life list, quote unquote.
Sure,
which is like the white whales.
Mm-hmm.
So like Dr. Boyer,
right,
and like just you know, those higher up people that
Mark
I feel like
O'Shea,
are going to be very hard to pin down to make happen.
Right.
And then there's, you know, a mental list of a ton of other people too. So
well, and here's my thing too, is that I dare I say I'm selfish, where like when you and I were both doing THP and Snakes and Stogies, in my mind I was like, is this person a better fit for THP or is this person a better fit for Snakes and Stogies? And now I'm doing the same thing in the sense of, is this person a better fit for Snakes and Stogies, where we have the open forum and it's live and we can show pictures, or do I want to lock them down for Venom Exchange? Not saying that we couldn't have them also on a network show as well. But like a lot of the guests that I have contacted and talked to, they don't want to be on camera, or, you know, they can't do a Monday night per se, you know what I mean? Especially if it's international. But then I've also got a lot of people, they're like, hell yeah, I'll do it. Let's do it. And then it's like, how about this week? No. How about next week? No. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like somebody that I want to have on really on this show really badly is Trace Harden. I love Trace. He's a fantastic human being. And last time I'd spoken to him about coming on air was probably back in April or May. And he's like, look, man, I'm doing a bunch of reptile room renovations. I got a ton of work. My day job is kicking. Why don't we revisit this in June? And I dropped the ball. So that's one person that I know would love to come on here. Would be a ton of fun, you know?
Like I've talked to Dr. Boyer and she's interested too. It was just one of those things where she's like, this quarter is a bad time. Hit me back up in, 4 6 months, whatever. So Kristen Wiley, I think she's also agreed. She's like, I've hit some of these people up that are like, all time got to have them on. And it's not from a lack of them wanting to, it's just kind of figure out the schedule to make it work. So
yeah. And like I got a guy who I've been talking to who's in Lebanon, and he lives just outside of Beirut, and trying to get him down for a Vipera episode with Venom Exchange. And again, another beautiful candidate for this show as well, because he's not just a venomous guy. He does a ton of local herp fauna in general and does a lot of rescues and rehabs too. But the problem is he legitimately tells me, he's like, he speaks pretty all right English. And he tells me, oh, I don't know if we can do it on Wednesday. I don't know if I'll have electricity. Because like the government just shuts it off.
Right.
So like trying to get things like that. And I know there's a ton of people stateside, and we have our list of stateside awesome people too. But I don't want to let too many cats out of the bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we had Valentine on. Like that dude's awesome. I'm glad we got him. We have to do another one with just him and show off some of his solo accolades.
Yeah. I was saying how, we haven't had Stone on in a while. I really want to do another episode with Matt Most, whether that's on here.
Yeah, that's got to happen. Yeah.
Just because I was saying while you were gone, like he has so much stuff that you can't possibly get to everything you want to get to.
Yeah.
In a single episode. And there's some of those episodes where I feel like we've had someone on and we're gonna have them on again. Where it's like that first episode, I just didn't feel satisfied that we covered what I wanted to cover, that we got enough, out of it.
Sure. So, yeah.
Matt's one of those guys, man, where I was like, we had him on and his episode was good, but I feel like
you feel like we're cheating the listeners because
felt
it's
like
not
there was
all that it could
we
be.
didn't get yeah. We gotta do it again.
Yeah, and to be brutally honest, like not to call him out or like to poke fun at Chris, but like you and Chris need to have Lassiter on Corn Stars. Like even if you don't talk corn snakes, you gotta do it, man. I mean, we drank with the guy in Daytona, for crying out loud.
He's got corns now. Chris sold him some or gave him some.
Yeah, there you go.
But Westmoreland, he's in the chat. Like I love talking to Eric. He keeps posting stuff for sale that I don't need, and just I need them, but I don't need them.
Yeah, I get it.
But honestly, Corn Stars, man, that's been, maybe I'm biased, but that's been one of my favorite shows to do on a.
But you know what it is that you're getting nostalgic, right? It's your childhood. It's something you and your old man did. And now you're stepping up to the next level. You got a great group of animals. You're hanging out with some great, Pantherophis peoples. It's the time. It's fresh. You're excited. I love it.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
And I love Chris. Like Chris is one of my all-time favorite human beings. Without a doubt.
Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah. See, Lassiter, though, like, I think not doing it live would make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a shy guy. Like he's
a very shy fellow.
Very reserved.
And I give him kudos for that.
Oh, absolutely. So. What do we need to start getting a list together of the 101 series.
We do. We need more amphibian people too. I mean, I know this is a snake show, but we got it. And I talked to a couple cats this weekend, and who aren't necessarily amphibian specific, but they do a lot of northern herping and a lot of salamander hunting and stuff. And we gotta do some salamander and some toad action. Got to get in it. That's
I don't get as excited about those. If it were dart frogs, then I'd be all about it. But
get them too. We need a mantella person is what we need.
That'd be cool.
That'd be very cool.
That's one of those things where I haven't seen anybody super focused on those. It's always been one of those things where it's like, yeah, I've got all these dendrobates, and it's like I got a tank of mantellas, dude, just cause, they're cool.
Yeah. I don't know why. I feel like there's probably a secret group of individuals stateside that are really, really doing awesome things with the mantellas, and they just keep to themselves. They're like, those dart frog people.
Yeah, I mean, there's still people keeping them. Like I said, it's just always one of those just like side things where people have a tank or two, and then maybe they only have it for a couple years, and then they just like, yeah, it just wasn't my thing. So you need to clue me in into who that is there, Gillen. Make that happen. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on up in Canada too that we just don't. There's a lot of people there that we could probably talk to. And Phil froze up again. When's he gonna drop? And that is one of the reasons why I don't really want to add any shows to the network, is because like you do get to a point to where, like, if we have like THP, which covers a little bit of everything, and then we have Lizard Brain, I'm more weary to have lizard people on THP, because then that puts that requires Bill then to circle back later. Like that episode he would have done with that person needs to get pushed down the line. So you do got to kind of be a little conscientious of what shows get who. Same like with Phil and Venom Exchange stuff. Like we could totally have the same person on both shows, but that just makes it a little harder for Phil, because now you have to think of things to talk about that you weren't already covered.
Yeah, and I think that if let's pick someone like Ryan Reed, right? Like we could do a whole Snakes and Stogies thing about Ryan Reed and like all his awesome animals and the frogs and the beadids and the snakes and everything, and like stuff that he used to do, and like the crazy venomous collection he used to do. And then I can have him on Venom Exchange and just talk about beadids. You know what I mean? Something to that extent. Like there's tons to go around. It's just figuring out how we want to choreograph it. So, and that's kind of the beauty of like the networks and all of us being friends and being able to communicate,
And it's interesting too, because there's like having the other networks and stuff around. I don't look at it as like a competition thing at all.
Yeah, neither do I.
I think if anything, it pushes everyone, us included, to put more thought into what we're going to cover with that person. Because if like they're on the NPR stuff and they talk about one thing, I want to listen to that and think of things that maybe I would have wanted to cover.
Yeah.
And different angles to ask, like comment things. And I think overall that's a net positive for everybody, because you're getting more information covered. It's just on different platforms and different people.
Agreed.
But you do like I do try to space that out. So like if like Pinnell is a good example. Like if NPR had done an episode with Pinnell 3 weeks ago, I would have wanted to wait at least a month or two before we had him on.
And even like your episode on ConjureCast with Natouche, which is one of my favorite podcasts I've ever listened to in our community. And I'm not even a Conjure guy. Like that episode with him from ConjureCast was fantastic. NPR had him on.
Yeah, it was a circuit.
NPR. Well, I was gonna say is NPR had him on recently to that episode that you did, but it wasn't the same episode. It's a completely different episode. Yeah, you talked about similar topics and similar things, but it was a completely different show, and I think that's great.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with the 5 questions episode. Episodes that I do. Like when I put those questions together, I put more time into those 5 questions than I do the outlines for most of the shows, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's because it's like we don't have time constraints. I don't have to worry about tangents. Like I can ask the question and really think about it and then get it,
Yeah.
So those I like. And I like doing those too, because I can also, like, the questions I would ask Bill about public education are going to be vastly different from the ones I'm going to ask Chris about, colubrids.
Yeah.
And to have them so focused and have such an emphasis on making sure it's a good question. Like I avoid with the 5 question series sort of basic questions for the most part. Like I want them to be more so opinions and philosophies on things rather than how-tos.
Yeah.
That's become so much more of my sort of interest in terms of like the podcast and how things have progressed. And I'm sure it's shown itself subconsciously or consciously, but like with Pinnell, like I said, we've heard everything we know everything about his time with coastals. Like, yeah, we could have talked to him about coastals way more, but me and Jake being more Popwin guys, like I want to know what his time with those was like, even if it was brief.
Yeah.
He still had some just absolutely killer Popwins. And it's like, I feel like those didn't really get touched on much in past shows that he was on.
Right.
And then to find out that he's doing all that other stuff outside of those, like he's got a ton of other stuff. And it's, it's just like, there's more there. And I want to go around the corner and get the other stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, we're just talking about white whales. Like having Johan Morer on Venom Exchange with Nipper was 100% one of like my top 3 white whales for me, right? Excuse me. And
yeah, you had been talking about having him on for a long time.
I know.
That was something you were working on.
Legit working on. And he's such a wonderful guy, like just to chat with and talk to. And like when I was looking for pictures for backdrops, he's like, oh, I've never got landscapes of that area, but I have 2 other, proteges that have. I'll get you their information. And the dude's just like sent me pictures of that kindness of their heart. Like it's such a great community we're in. But we talked to Johan for about 2 hours, and we had questions that we had talked about and wanted to hear about his career and his experiences. But the dude's got so much freaking knowledge. I got to get him back on for anti-venom, administering, and the African Snakebite Institute and all the work that they're doing, and like the training and just field herping. And like you have one individual that we could get 5 freaking shows, 6 freaking shows out of it. You know what I mean? We got to plan accordingly, Yeah.
And that's, Craig Woods. I know Jake's wanted to have him on for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And I really would like to have more international guests on, but the time zones and stuff like that make that really hard, because it almost always requires us to do it on a weekend, which isn't a big deal because Jake and I are off on weekends now. Like I'm more able to do that now than I was 6 months ago.
Right.
And maybe that's something that me and Jake start putting more emphasis on and doing that kind of thing.
Sure.
Like Scott and Ty, I feel like there's a ton there that never gets covered.
Yeah.
Or that we've never just gotten to because there's just so much stuff to unpack with them.
So much stuff. Yeah, of course.
Jake Hansen, we haven't had him on in a really long time. Like he's doing awesome stuff.
Yeah. Got to get him back on.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of whole nother, like just massive warehouse of other people to get into there,
It goes far beyond a little laundry list.
Yes. Yeah. And somehow we managed to pull it off, because as far as like scheduling and planning out episodes ahead of time, doesn't happen very often here. It's one of those things where it's like we have people in mind and we'll hit them up, and maybe they're like, I can't do it this month, but hit me up in, next 2 months. And so like mentally I'm like, okay. And then I'll be scrolling and I'll be like, it's time to hit them up again and see where they're at. And it's like, if they have to punt it again, no problem. Circle back. It's just, there's a system. It's not set in stone by any means, but
keep on trucking.
There's a system. Need to go back and look at how long we've been doing this.
I know.
I feel like we didn't keep track of any of that, like I did with THP and the other stuff.
Well, I mean, we can. I mean, we're at 144 episodes, minus 1 or 2. And then there was probably 3 Instagram lives before we did the first.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't really count those though.
So you figure, yeah, that's true.
Oh, well.
It's a lot, man. We've been doing it, It's good. Because this will be our 3rd year of Snakes and Stogies.
I'll have to look, maybe.
Yeah, we gotta look.
Maybe 2.
I think we're going into.
Next year for THP is 5.
Yeah, I think we're going. Are we going into 4? Let me look. Look, I got the freaking app on my phone. No way.
I'd say 3 max.
Here, entertain the masses while I Google this.
Okay. Are you entertained?
Are you not entertained?
This playlist has a lot of really crappy music on it. Yeah, 5 years THP coming in March. It's crazy. And we were sure that it was going to die after like 6 months.
So first episode of THP was March 13th, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And then first episode of Snakes and Stogies. Because I know there was a little lapse where I don't think they were they not on here? They were on YouTube only, I think, right?
Maybe. You expect me to remember that kind of thing?
Yeah. Hello.
We need to do a Heloderma episode.
Yeah, I got like 3 or 4 people that we got to get and do that 100%.
I don't know if I'm actually going to have any. I know that's been a discussion for like the last year, but I don't know what the status of that is. There's things that have changed severely. Dude, just Harry. He said I'd leave my damn state for Heloderma. Just move to South Carolina. Literally like 3 hours from Jacksonville, if that. It's like right over the border. Gainesville is like a 4-hour drive. Same with Daytona. Right here.
Okay, so there's a jump in the numbers from because like you uploaded all the ConjureCasts at once, and then you went back and put THP back in. But it's Snakes and Stogies episode 1 was July 30th of 2020.
Okay. Yeah. Wild.
Well, hold on a second. That doesn't make sense because it says episode 2 is July 31st of 2020. So that can't be right. And then, yeah, episode 3, episode 4, they're all July 31st. All right. Well, crap.
Okay, then I went back and uploaded those.
Yeah.
So then we go.
Yeah, because you were uploading like 3 or 4 episodes a day for like the summer to catch up with Snakes and Stogies.
Let's go back on YouTube.
Yeah, I think YouTube's gonna be a way to do it.
I'm getting there.
Do it. Yeah,
this says episode 1 was streamed 2 years ago.
Episode 1 of Snakes and Stogies?
Yeah.
Was 2 years ago. It says 2 years, or it's giving you like a date of like
I'm about to
July
look.
31st, 2021.
December 29th of 2019.
What was it? December 29th?
Yep.
Of 2019. Wow. Okay.
You know how young we look.
You got photos?
No.
Oh, okay. But speaking of Gila Monster stuff, so like Daniel Beck, who wrote like the Gila Monster book, I keep forgetting to reach out to him, but I definitely want to get him in one of the shows, because like the dude literally wrote the book on Gilas and Beateds, you know, so like that's a great candidate. Yeah. And there's another guy who I gotta look him up on Facebook. Pretty sure his name's Daniel as well, who's in Central Florida, and I'm pretty sure he runs one of the Gila Monster Facebook groups. But the dude was breeding so many Gila Monsters and had so many adult animals, like breeder stock, that he wound up, I don't know if he's retired or what, but he wound up converting his barn in the back of his property to be like a Gila room, where he has like, I don't even know how wide it is. It's like 15 by 15, like a 15-foot diameter circle that has like a little concrete wall. And then in there is like 10 or 15 adult breeder Gilas that all like live communally. And there's like a creek that runs through it with like live cactus and shit. It's crazy.
Wow.
So I got to get in touch with him and pick his brain too, see if he wants to come on a show. December 2019. Nice.
Yeah, so that's about to be what, 3 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wild.
What's
up with your heliderms?
Chilling. Just
like
chilling.
Literally or just figuratively?
No, figuratively.
Oh. Yeah. Like you finally figure it out?
No, definitely not. I'm not gonna do it, man. Every year around this time, I get a tickle that tells me
wild hair.
Buy a smaller DNA proven male and just raise it up. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. I like my pet. And I just leave it be. So I only have the one female. She's gorgeous. She's healthy. She lives a good life. And it was too traumatic, man. It was too traumatic. I've seen a lot of animals do some messed up breeding stuff. I've had males kill females. I've had females kill males. But like, for whatever reason, that Gila, I was like, we're not doing it. It's not happening. Sorry, I chickened out. Rob Stone's going to yell at me now.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, I know.
You finish your cigar already?
No, it's halfway through. Just letting it chill. It's getting a little hot.
A little bitter.
No, not bitter. Just hot.
Are we gonna vend Daytona next year?
Excuse me. I have not.
That requires an entire other meeting.
It requires, I think, multiple meetings. I I'm pretty sure I was gonna split the table with Billy and Casey again. It was briefly spoken about in bullshit passing. And we didn't plan for it to be like the hangout table, but we knew that it was going to be. And then when it did, we were like, all right, we're glad that we did that. You know, we're glad that we made a base camp. I don't know. I think it could be fun, especially if we got taken care of some of the stuff we talked about in the meeting the other night. I think that could be very beneficial. And yeah, I guess we'll play it by ear. We got a couple months to negotiate that.
Yeah, it feels like the last, like when we've ended last time, there wasn't a whole much of a plan. We planned, but it was fairly short notice. It was like, shit, Daytona's in a month. We need to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, it was very much like, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, but at the same time, wing it, you know?
Right.
So
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And I was even
interested to see if they do the second room thing next year again, or if there's.
Yeah, that'll definitely be interesting. Definitely.
Speaking of Billy Hunt, if anyone wants any of these Ladies Island corns that I produced, Billy Hunt has some for sale.
That he does. Fat and happy, those little noodles.
Have you been up his way at all lately?
No. We were planning on doing it in the beginning of the month, but I decided not to because Anna Marie and I were going away. And then we were going to try and squeeze a trip in. We, meaning me, Anna Marie, and Casey, try and squeeze a trip in sometime before Christmas. But like this time of the year is just so crazy. And I know Billy's got 2 jobs, and I know he's probably going to get some overtime at the moonlighting gig because it is season, you know. But I don't know. I got to figure that out. I have some stuff I got to bring him. And I think he has one of my tubs, so we got to figure it out. I know he wanted me to bring him some sea serpent racks, but I don't know if he's actually like communicated that with them or bought them or anything. But I know like we were going to try and kill a couple birds with one stone, and I'll just pick up the racks from Chris and just drive them up, make everyone happy, you know. So, but yeah, I'm overdue. Definitely overdue. And my brother bought a house, and he actually bought the house before they were building it, and he got like the second house in the neighborhood or something, and he's in Orlando, so I got to make a trip up that way, and I got to see what like long weekends I have coming up, and see if I can swing seeing my brother and going to Billy in the same weekend, kind of choreograph that. So, and it sucks too, because the past couple times that we did a little hangout at Billy's, KJ came over, and which is great because we're all just drinking, talking about snakes. And but it sucks because I always have to leave because I have to go back to work. And Casey and Billy and KJ get to go herping. And I don't know if people are familiar, but KJ has the golden touch in terms of herping. You know, the guy blinks and there's a species of special concern right there in your driveway. Metaphorically, not literally, people. So
he can just whistle and Diamondbacks appear.
Literally. He's like, you know, news team assemble, and like all the crotalids slither out of the palmetto head. So he's a good egg, man, that KJ.
No. Well,
and no word. I knew you were saying something earlier about Reed and the beatids, and you don't know if that's ever going to come to fruition.
I don't know. He's had some stuff come up that I don't feel it's sort of appropriate at this moment to really ask about it.
Sure.
So
I get it.
Just personal stuff, and I just, it's like it's not really important now. So
yeah, priorities.
Not that I have anywhere to put them, anyways. Dude, I saw one at the Columbia show that was freaking huge, and I was like, if they get that damn big, like, there's no way.
I mean, how big was it really? Like 4 foot?
You can ask Keller. If Keller's still here, Keller saw it. thing was freaking massive. Even he was like, "That's the biggest damn bead I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're all going to get that big. That's somebody power feeding the shit out of it, you know?
Like, I think if that thing turned, it wouldn't even come close to like the nose touching the tail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Daryl saw it. I didn't see Daryl at the show. You just outed yourself, Camby.
Meanwhile, Harry's like, I'm the Sistress Whisperer. You know what he is? He's the friggin' Everglades rat snake whisperer. Is that what that guy is? Dude, what a monster animal. Do you have that picture handy? I feel like that should get thrown up on the screen. Let me see if I can snag it real quick. Because that was a killer rat snake. And Harry, where was that? I guess it was. Oh, he's gonna send it to me. All right, cool. Was that at his mom's house?
One of his moms. She has snakes.
Oh, I thought that was a wild animal. I thought he caught that in the yard.
Oh, okay. Daryl went late Sunday. That's why we were there Saturday, and we were, I think, out by like 2:00.
You know who else we got to get on this show is Cam Candy from Australia. Like, that dude takes some phenomenal pictures, man. Crazy photos. Just Aussie lapping it up. Harry, you sending it on Facebook? He says mom likes to feed stuff. Man, that kind of kills it for me. I thought the thing was wild. I thought he found that in the yard. There it is.
He doesn't get him where he's at, though. He's not far enough south, isn't he?
No, yeah, I know he's not far enough south. But I thought,
I got you.
For whatever reason, maybe his mom lived down by me or something. I don't know. All right, where is Justin?
He did find a really nice white oak the other day, though.
Yeah, no, I saw that one. That one was killer.
Phil does keep pygmies. I wish I could keep pygmies.
I do. I have a pair of Duskies from Palm Beach County, which is funny because I actually just had my venomous inspection.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Normal flying colors as usual.
Swimmingly.
Tip the hat, yeah. And what's funny is he's they keep inventory of everything, and then I send Tallahassee my updated list when applicable. And sometimes they communicate that to the inspectors, sometimes they don't, whatever. So he's going through the roster of like animals I had last year opposed to animals I have this year. And he's like, you still have one pygmy? I said, actually, I got two pygmies. He goes, oh, did you get him in the same spot? I said, yeah, man, Palm Beach County, baby, because he's a Palm Beach County guy. I'm pretty sure he's born and raised Palm Beach County. And he's like, oh, let me take a look at them. He's looking at him, and he's really not a snake guy, but it's cool to have like animals from your county. It's a good feeling. All right. It is not loading. There we go. All right. Let's do this. Screen share.
Only ready for the THP shirt and the Crocs.
Boom. Boom.
Look at that. Look at that.
What a freaking monster.
Snapper. Tell me you've seen that video on Instagram.
Yeah. It's a snapper turla.
It's a snapping turla. Snapper.
Look at that handsome man with a gorgeous shirt and a stunning rat snake.
Gerald asked if pygmies are very active or if they hide a lot.
They hide a lot. It's all depends on the time of day. If you go in at, if I go in right as the sun's coming up, they'll be basking. If I go in right as the sun's going down, they're still hiding. And then right as like the sun's going below the horizon line, they're out cruising a little bit, and then they're back in their hide or their, cork bark or whatever. So
you see that form?
Yeah. Man knows how to hold a rat's neck.
That's right. In other news, I am in the process of getting a storefront online for merch stuff. So instead of people having to hunt me down and place an order, you can just order on the website. I don't know when that's going to be done. Still trying to figure out getting inventory together, not in terms of knowing what I have, but literally getting inventory together to be able to put it up and then have it ready. I may do some hoodies. I don't know. Hoodies get expensive. Those I may just have and do them per order, 2 order.
Yeah, made to order.
That way I'm just not sitting on hoodies. But I have these districts that I got the Snakes and Stogies one printed on. I freaking love these things. Super comfortable. But hoodies ain't cheap, so
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. And Lisa, I did talk to Angeli, and he's going to come on Venom Exchange and do a beaded episode. So in the future.
Oh, I figured that's who she was talking about.
Yeah. He Angeli's really good friends with Ryan from Underground, and Ryan was kind enough to put us in contact, and so that's good.
Nice.
Yeah. Because he don't know me from a hole in the wall, but he's got some amazing animals, man. And I actually I got some brincals from him, and Underground got some mambas from him, and it's good folks. So
very nice.
Yes, sir. Oh, was there anything else you want to cover tonight?
I don't think so.
Yeah, man, it was kind of a chill episode. It's kind of getting people hyped up for the next 2 episodes.
That's right.
Yeah, don't forget, people, to please send us your herper slang that you want to have covered, or that you think people should know, or would possibly help newbies or people that are not hip to the lingo. Yeah. BlackBoxCages.com.
Check them out. Facebook, Instagram, BlackBoxCages.com. Puget Sound Pythons, Facebook, Instagram, Morph Market.
Oh, shit. They're on that Morph Market?
I don't know if they have anything for sale on there right now, but go hunt them down. Go look. Go see. Maybe you'll find something you like. Maybe you'll be so inclined to buy it. I don't know. See, okay, real quick. Everyone is doing Black Friday sales, but no one is shipping.
Really?
I don't ship this time of year. I sent a box to
Eric. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
I think I sent that out the 17th, and I wouldn't have even sent it out that late. I usually early to mid-November. I don't start shipping again until mid-January, just because of how crazy FedEx gets.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here on Black Friday watching everyone have these Black Friday sales, and I'm like, are y'all holding these animals for the next 6-8 weeks?
They gotta be, especially if the weather is gonna get worse.
That sounds like a nightmare. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, because I gotta constantly remind myself that I'm kind of the anomaly in the country. You know what I mean? And people can send me animals, but I wouldn't even think to send people animals outside of Florida, just because of the temps.
Yep.
So,
should we do an episode on shipping?
I think that'd be great. And you know who we have to have on?
Mike Arnold?
120%.
Shout out to Reptiles Express.
Shout out to Reptiles Express.
They're not a
the
sponsor.
mics.
I just love them.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, okay. I think that'd be a good one too.
Yeah.
As maybe even just as one of the one-on-one, not one-on-one. Oh my God, 101.
101
episodes. Because that is I know the first time that I shipped, it was super nerve-wracking because I was terrified I didn't do the packing job good enough, and heating and cooling and all that stuff. And I told myself if it was that difficult, no one would do it. So
yeah.
Now I do it, and it's a breeze. So
yeah, man, they make it so easy and so helpful, and the resources that they have, they just make it seamless, streamline.
Yep. So we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
As far as I know, we're going to be doing THP Thursday.
Sweet.
Because I was confused because we had talked about doing the slang episode like Wednesday or Thursday, but now it's Monday. So
But now, well, I think I messed that up. Is Chris joining us Monday or no? I know he's coming the 12th.
I don't know.
Because I thought Chris was going to be part of the slang.
What day is Monday?
Monday is the 3rd. Hold on.
I think Friday's the 2nd.
No, Monday's the 5th. Monday's the 5th.
Okay.
I was close.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
all right.
Anyways, thank you all.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.